What's good, YouTube land? It's time for more Kingdom and more. Alright, so we did Optimus Primal. Where do we go next? How about the youngest member of the Maximals? Cheetor! Oh, wait, I meant Cheetor's box, yes. Yes. Cheetor's box. Here we are. So it's the same as the Voyager class, because Cheetor is a deluxe class, but just smaller a bit, except with a picture of a cheetah right there, and a picture of Cheetor in a nice dynamic pose. And that same picture right there with the maximal symbol and a little black maximal symbol on the hook. That part. So open it up, and one thing I'm pretty sure has to be said in every single Cheetor review is check the sleeve before you throw away the box, because Cheetor's tail is actually in the box right here. I've taken it out of the box, but like in the packaging, it's right here. Most other toys don't put anything there. So if you open the box and you don't see Cheetor's tail, look in there. There's also, how well can you see it? An Autobot face right there, an Autobot logo. So yep. Here's the same kind of thing. Apparently we get another Dinobot card, which is like, why? Why do I need another Dinobot card? Ugh. I hate getting duplicates. It's surprising it says Predacon. I know because he started out as a Predacon, but he died a Maximal. So, if you're wondering, we are getting Dinobot in Wave 2, along with Air Razor, and I don't think any other Beast Wars characters have been announced so far. Because Wave 1 is Black Arachnia, or Optimus Primal, Cheetor, Black Arachnia, and Rat Trap. And Rat Trap, spoiler, Rat Trap's video is after this one. Or at least I'm going to film it after this one. Depending on in which order. You should watch these in the order they're uploaded, but if you don't, whatever. No skin off my back. So yeah. So let's talk about Cheetor. This is a really good cheetah mode. Definitely the best non-masterpiece cheetah mode we've gotten. It's really well proportioned. It's decently articulated, which we'll see. Like, of all the Cheetor toys we've gotten, the original Beast Wars one, the Transmetal one, which I have right here, all the way up to the Classics one, and we got one recently with a Cyberverse. This is definitely the best proportioned, most natural looking cheetah. Obviously, Masterpiece is something else. Masterpiece doesn't even count because it's not available on shelves. If I could buy a Masterpiece on shelf, that would be something completely insane. So we can look at it from all sides. There's the cheetah head. Again, just like Optimus Primal. Here, I will give you a size comparison of Cheetor and Optimus Primal. To see, I don't know if this is show accurate scale, but it's what Kingdom is giving us, so I'm gonna assume it's accurate to something. If I had one flaw of Cheetah mode, it's his hands are visible right there, and also in combination with that, the white paint just stops. Like these parts of the arm aren't really visible very often unless you're looking at the back of him. So I wouldn't mind if they had continued the white underbelly paint job onto at least these bits, if not all the way to the backs of the, like maybe not the front of the hands, but like definitely these bits right here deserve that paint job. But overall, it's a well done cheetah mode. You can see all the spots all the way down his tail. It does have the same kind of texturing as Optimus Primal. Well, not the exact same. It's got a bit of texture to represent all the spots. Kind of furry. Articulation in this mode, the biggest drawback is unfortunately the head doesn't move. But if you look there, there's a cut right there that I feel like it should allow for cheetah at least side to side, because the only articulation in the head is the mouth. Sure, it's you can go all the way to dislocated jaw screaming due to transformation, but like it would have been so nice to have maybe a head ball joint, or at the minimum a swivel, something to give the cheetah more than just having to look around like that. But no, all the rest of the joints are in the legs. So the forelegs have a swivel, and they also have a ball joint. So you can go all the way out and go 360. You've got an elbow hinge, and you've got a ball joint at the paw. So right away, this is the most articulated beast mode, probably next to this guy, that Cheetor's ever had. His original Beast Wars toy. Can we go? I've heard this. Can we refer to it as B1? Does anyone have a problem with that? Because like G1, I'm repeating what Thew said at one point, but like just saying B1 makes sense because there's Beast Wars, Transmetals, or Beast Wars Season 2, Beast Wars Season 3, Beast Wars the second in Japan, Beast Wars Neo in Japan. There's so many Beast Wars seasons. Can we just refer to it as B1 and be done with it? You don't really get much access to the robot's waist swivel. You get pretty much that much. If you consider that a point of articulation that's useful, go ahead. You can swivel the tail at its connector, and most of the hind legs. You can use the robot mode hip, the knee bend, and this joint is exclusive, well, A, for the transformation, and B, for the cheetah mode. But you also have a ball joint at the paw. So it can do a signature pose if you feel like it needs to go to the bathroom. But yeah, so far, the cheetah mode is really good on this toy. I really like it. Nothing really else to do in this mode besides transform. So, Cheetor, maximize! So start by removing the tail. Yes, it's parts forming. Also, hilariously, both ends of the tail are 5mm in diameter, so you can shove the tail in his ass like that. And now he has sort of a sickle tail or something. Just oh, that actually made me. If you want to stand up a Cheetor for some reason, if you want him to stand on his hind legs, the best way I've found to do it is literally just do this. Like you have to use this part of it like a tripod. Kind of, that would be the best way to make it. If you, for some reason, wanted to make him stand. Because if you plug it in normally, it's just gonna nope. So it's just a little something I found while messing with them. And to start the transformation, we're just gonna go from here. We're gonna leave the legs the way they are, and we're gonna open. This is the big moment of the transformation. We're gonna open all that up. We're gonna get the arms out of the way for a brief second while we take these panels and fold them all the way to the back, and then the shoulder is going to sit right there, and you're going to rotate the wrist and make sure the elbow is straight. Do the same thing on the other side, rotate down, straighten. We'll come to these in a second. Open the mouth all the way, and it's on a double hinge, so you want to hinge it down and collapse it, and that peg right there will peg into that hole in the mouth. So you want to peg that down, and then you can come back and fold these flaps in to sort of tidy up the torso, and then you can just rotate the head, and there you have Cheetor. Actually, we're not done yet. We're going to want to fold the hind legs up and fold down the feet. Same thing on the other side. And now we have Cheetor in his robot mode. And I like the robot mode. I have more issues with it, which we'll get to pretty quickly. But now the big thing are the hind or the front cheetah legs. So you can actually pose them however you want. I think the toy instructions right here have them. I'm not actually sure where they are in the final robot mode. Oh, they're just laying down on his back. So what I saw on Twitter and that I think works really well is actually just crossing them right there. You can even because from the front you can't even see them. They're not hindering anything. They're not hindering the articulation. They're the most out of the way. So I like to do that with them. And I tend to rotate one of the paws up so it's kind of flush there. Just you can do whatever you want with them. It's just this is the way that I saw somebody did it, and I thought, hey, that's a really good idea. Because otherwise, you'll have them like hanging down, and like I don't think that looks very good. So another thing to mention about Cheetor right away is people have been having breaking issues with the with the panels that are in his torso. These side flaps, the thing the cheetah mouth plugs onto. Now, I have not seen any breaking, but because I went into this toy knowing that people have had that issue, I've tried to be very careful. Like, try to have kid gloves when it comes to transforming it down. Because I really don't like the like. I know it kind of click locks into place, but that click lock in my head sounds like the potential for breaking. So I don't know exactly if there's a fix for it because I can't remember. I just remember people like go on your local forums and see what people are saying about it, I guess. But I just try and handle it carefully and have yet to had things break. Like I've heard stories of people having it a couple seconds and it breaking, like first transformation kind of thing. So it's a little bit worrisome. But still, overall, I like the look of the robot mode. You could say, unfortunately, that the shins are sort of cheetoring, if you will. Or they're no. Oh God, I screwed up that joke. That like they're cheating, but he's a cheetah. He's a he's gonna cheetah. Uh, but let's get some of my complaints out of the way. First off, it's kind of honestly the color scheme is the biggest issue with this. Because if I compare it to the masterpiece or even the show model, this does not feel like the right shade of blue. Like the blue needs to be a bit like metallic and a bit darker. And like looking at them, like I get what they're going for, but like it doesn't. I wish they'd gone further. And even the yellow, generally on his show model, is kind of a bit more orangey than I would say this shade of yellow. As for character, Cheetor was basically sort of the bumblebee. If you want a G1 comparison, he was the youngest of the Maximals. He was a bit hot-headed. He got himself in over his head a lot. He was young and inexperienced. He eventually grew as the 3 seasons and then Beast Machines went on. He eventually grew into the pseudo secondary in command of the Maximals, which is probably one of the best character arcs Beast Wars had. And while we respect Beast Machines, we go ugh at the designs of Beast Machines toys. So actually, on that thought, it's hilarious how far this toy goes to reference previous Cheetor toys. Like he has, I didn't even show him next to the. I'll transform him again, just because I want to show him next to the Transmetal, because I really hope that they retool him into Transmetal Cheetor, because this is one of the toys I had as a kid, and while I say they references him, because Cheetor, the Transmetal Cheetor's actual weapon, one of his weapons was his tail, which season one Cheetor did not use as a weapon. If you're unfamiliar with the original Cheetor toy, let me tell you, the original Cheetor toy had two guns. One made out of his ass, literally, and one that was a functional water gun made out of his guts that actually worked in beast mode. And I believe it was the gut that actually made it onto TV screens as Cheetor's primary weapon in season one. Like pulling his intestines out and shooting you with them. Yep, apparently the designers of that toy saw nothing wrong with that. But instead, he gets a reference to Transmetal Cheetor with the whip sort of tail. You can actually, which is nice given, like, you can actually flip it around in his hand to make it a decent kind of sickle weapon, sort of. And given this guy's posability, it looks really good just naturally resting against his head, just like Optimus Primal's did. And now I have to take 2 seconds or 5 or 10 to transform Optimus Primal. Also, I forgot this in the video. I wanted to make this a point as a funny kind of thing. You can also, due to the way this guy transforms, you can semi-transform him and have him like uh stuck between robot and gorilla. Like if you just do this. Like I thought this was hilarious that you could just leave it here and have him like somehow stuck in between his modes, like the best of both modes, so to speak. But no, we'll go to full robot mode. So I'm also trying to think of highlights of Cheetor because it's been so long since I've watched Beast Wars. I didn't even watch it fully. Like watched enough that I have a lot of attachment to these characters, but like I'm trying to remember things Cheetor did besides like fight Waspinator a lot. Oh, and he also constantly referred to Optimus Primal as Big Bot. There's that. You can actually snap. Huh, get it down a bit more. I kind of missed that in the review, but here, let's give them both weapons. There we go. Here's Optimus Primal next to Cheetor. Kind of Optimus Primal was Cheetor's mentor throughout the seasons, I should say, more than I think anybody else on the cast. He kind of mentored Cheetor, and they look really good together, in my opinion. It's nice to have them here. Speaking of transforming, let's get a comparison with Transmetal Cheetor, just because I have them sitting next to me. Yeah, this is one of the toys I had as a kid, along with the original Optimus, RID, Sideburn. And I would love to like actually get his tail accessory, but I'm not that really concerned because I didn't have the tail accessory as a kid. Like I don't remember having it, but like I seriously hope that they retool this guy into his transmetal form, because I can definitely see, as Bolt Matrix pointed out, a lot of ways that this guy references this guy in terms of engineering, or that they stuff they could turn into. Like, it's also hilarious that it made me think of this. He's even his legs are kind of referencing the dreaded Beast Machine's Cheetor design, the really long, lanky legged. We don't. I hope and sort of pray that they never do generations of Beast Machine toys, because we've done Beast Wars, we've done RID with well, so far only Skybite. Because really, Skybite was one. I'd like to see a generations, maybe in a like a generations RID line, new toys for Sideburn, X Brawn, and RID Prowl, because I have the original toys sitting over here, and I've never reviewed the X Brawn for reasons. But also, if you've never realized, you may now realize and be terrified that Cheetor's crotch armor kind of looks like a screaming face. It's looked that way on every iteration of Season 1 Cheetor. And if you didn't see it, well, now you can. Now you will never be able to unsee it. So you're welcome. Let's talk articulation, because we've done everything else but. Head is on a ball joint. Can kind of get side to side. Can get lots of up and down. Lots of nodding. Can get a swivel. Kind of the best way if you want to swivel it is kind of to do that, because it kind of hits on things. There's not a lot of clearance there. Shoulders are going to be the most hindered because they can't go backwards due to his transformation, but they can go forwards all the way up. You do have a thing I mentioned in the Optimus Primal that I still really like, a butterfly joint to go mostly for transformation, but it provides very nice in robot mode. You do get just beyond 90 degrees of elbow, along with a bicep swivel and a wrist swivel, which I understand why that panel's there, but it's just kind of unfortunate that they couldn't come up with another way to handle that. You do get a waist swivel, which only goes that far either side, but still, that's way beyond what you actually need. Hips, 90 degrees, very nice. Backwards, not at all, due to his design, unfortunately. His knee is unfortunately limited. It goes just under 90 degrees, and it goes a tiny bit forward. Outward motion, he does have the full Van Damme splitude. So he can totally do this between two Optimus Primes. I'm guessing one from the regular G1 continuity probably, and somehow Shattered Glass Optimus Prime showed up. You do get a thigh swivel. You can do that if you want. I don't know why, but you can actually, because on the box art it depicts very like the different paws on his shins. It kind of depicts these paws on his shins. Since they are ball jointed, you can swap them around if you want. I'm not that bothered about it, so I'm not going to. And his last up, his foot is on a hinge, uh, along with a hinge and a hinge. So you can get that much bend, pivot, excuse me, is the proper term. And you can go that far and about that far. Unfortunately, no swivel. Poor Jobby. No swivel. So this guy is very nice to pose. I wish I had opened the posability segment with that, but like another example. Oh, also his crotch armor can fold up so you can see the screws underneath. So the 5mm port is still available on his ass. So if you wanted to do a silly thing of like him farting explosives or something like that, I'm not going to do that. But go ahead. You also have a Tamashi port right below it for a stand if you want to stand him up in cheetah mode or robot mode, have him do some flying poses. But another example of a quick and fun transformation, which gives you a very solid cheetah mode and a very nice robot mode. Minor hindrances aside, I'm really happy to actually have Cheetor in this form again, because we had that one again in Classics. Was it Classics or Universe? I don't remember. I wasn't collecting at the time. That was like okay, but really looks bad in hindsight. And the original, honestly, the original was a brick. The original B1 toy. Yeah, that's the sound I don't like. This, like if you snap it, uh, uh, like I don't like the sounds it makes. So I'm transforming because I wanted to compare the cheetah modes. So I'm just kind of, I guess at this point, just rambling. So yeah, so far, uh, Kingdom has been 2 for 2, at least complete in my completely biased opinion. I'm so happy to actually get brand new characters, toys of the Transformers that I watched, like that I started with, and not just like one or two in a random wave. We've got a whole probably 3 or 4 waves. I hope at the I hope 4 waves coming because, as I said, they've shown off Air Razor and Dinobot. Black Arachnia was shown off for Wave 1. I have yet to get Black Arachnia, unfortunately. I hope we're getting a Tigatron if the box art is anything, because Tigatron was such a cool character. I hope they do more than just because they're going very maximal heavy in the first 2 waves. I feel. I really hope they do more Predacons soon. Like we're getting Beast Wars Megatron. We've already gotten him. I have yet to be able to get him because he released in February. But I really hope they do Scorponok. Terrorsaur is another one I'm thinking. Like I really want a good version of Terrorsaur. Um, I mean Black Arachnia is both Maximal and Predacon. So is Dinobot even, but just trying to think of what other characters. What was the guy who was hunting transmutate? Rampage. Rampage. Apparently we're getting like a transmutate because they're oh wait, the Predacons they're releasing aren't canonical Beast Wars characters. They're like they're skeletal dinosaurs that are cast as Predacons that become armor for other characters. But I would like some more of the original cast of Predacons because one of those uh dinosaur I forget whatever they're called fossilizers is actually getting remolded into transmutate the protoform, whatever his name. I think his name was transmutate because he died before spoilers. He died before he was ever able to scan anything to become something because it was Rampage and Depth Charge were fighting over him. What other characters? Yeah, Scorponok, Pterosaur. We got Generations Waspinator in the Thrilling 30, but since we've gotten a new Rat Trap in this line, hello Rat Trap from the Thrilling 30, I would really hope that they do another Waspinator Uh, Technically, we're getting a G1 Inferno, but that's such a cop out. I really hope they do Beast Wars Inferno. Your Highness. I'm trying to think. Uh, Tarantula, Tarantulas would be nice because it's not that hard to probably remold Black Arachne into Tarantula. God knows they just in the original they just repainted Tarantula into Black Arachne. I'm just looking. Excuse me for a second. No, that's about it for all the Beast Wars Predacons that I have. So I hope they give us ones I don't even remember. No, that was no, actually that was about it of the cast of Predacons. Inferno, Scorponok, Tarantula, Rhinox was a Predacon for a small amount of time. I really hope they redo, like they do another Rhinox, because the Thrilling 30, as nice as it was to get Rhinox, he's a bit flawed, and I think they can redo him. I hope they do like a Generations Plus of Predacon Rhinox. That would be sweet. And then Transmetals and Transmetal 2s. I hope they give us all three Megatrons because they have not touched Transmetal Megatron's design since Beast Wars. Like I don't think they've given him a new toy. So I'm just rambling here at this point. Like I'm just trying to give my thoughts. Like I am excited as hell for Kingdom and what they have in the future. Like I'm not even through wave one yet, and I'm just fantasizing about every single character I hope we get. And I really need to go back and watch Beast Wars at some point. Like I know there's a DVD set. I wouldn't mind here's one last comparison I wanted to do. Here's Cheetor with Transmetal Cheetor. Sort of. But yeah. Like I hope they do Transmetal Optimus Primal, Transmetal Rat Trap. They actually do a Transmetal Rhinox because even though he didn't appear in the show, in the toy line, Rhinox did get a Transmetal. So did Terrorsaur. So many characters I want. I think I've been rambling for too long, but thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Until next time. Yeah. Wait, he's not next. Rat Trap's next. I don't know. Bye. Keep it weird.